My name is Simon. It was a Friday night and I was really looking forward to tonight's game. I'm a quarterback in my local high school football team and my girlfriend is on the cheer team. There was a lot of stress this week between my girlfriend and another member of the team, Sarah, but thankfully all their trouble has been sorted out. My girlfriend Louise can be very high-strung at times. I hadn't seen my girlfriend since yesterday. I got into a huge fight with a guy, and when it was over, I just saw my girlfriend cry and run away. There must be something wrong with her phone, because when I tried to call, all I got was static. I was cheating on my girlfriend with Sarah, but my girlfriend never approached me about it, so I wasn't certain that's why they were fighting. And I know my girlfriend, and she would definitely approach me. It was time to kick off, and I was hyped up. We were playing our rival school, Moontown High School. Our team, Lime Street High School, were on top of their game this season, thankfully. But tonight's game was very important. The game started off very rough indeed. There were guys kept running for me, and it was like they were targeting me. To make matters worse, I had butterfingers because the ball just fell out of my hands once I caught it. These guys seemed to really have it in for me. I was exhausted at half time, and when I walked into the dressing room, everyone ignored me. I didn't know what was happening. Suddenly, I went out on the field and waved at my girlfriend, and she was ignoring me also and just started cheering with the rest of her team. It was after the game I felt like I was having a nightmare when my teacher got up to speak to everyone. Okay everyone, it was a decision made by the school council that we play this game in memory of Simon, and even though we were on the edge of calling it off, we decided to play the game in Simon's memory. He was such a great student and great player. I tuned the sound of my teacher out, as now I remembered getting hit by a yellow school bus, running across the road to my girlfriend, so excited to see she was talking to Louise. I tried for weeks to get them to be friends again, and when I finally did, I got hit by a school bus. But it was then I remembered a few weeks ago we were messing with a new kid in school who was into witchcraft and said if we wanted something to happen, we needed to sacrifice something we love. I then realised I made a pact with the new student to my girlfriend and Sarah be friends again. Then I walked up to my girlfriend and Sarah speaking. I couldn't believe what I heard my girlfriend say. I swear, I was so angry at him cheating with you, I didn't even realise I was going to push him in front of a bus. I didn't even see it coming. What if there was CCTV? I was wondering why I didn't remember her pushing me. Then the student from my school walked up to me and said, "Don't worry, this was all mapped out for you. Don't you see? I died too, but came back to life." I was shocked, wondering what he meant. Then suddenly I could hear voices and see lights. When my vision came around, I noticed there were doctors standing over me. He said, "Welcome back, kid. You're a fighter." My girlfriend came in a couple of minutes later with Sarah. My girlfriend started crying and took my hand. She whispered, "I'm sorry. I'm so sorry." I replied, "It's okay." I told my girlfriend a few weeks later, when I recovered, about my memories of playing the game. She said there was no game. It was called off. The strange guy from school kept telling me that he was messing about coming back to life. But after researching him online, I learned that he was brought back to life after being clinically dead after drowning. He was hailed as a miracle boy. The drowning happened a year ago. When I approached him about it, he told me it would be better to forget the whole thing, because when he decided to tell people about the sacrifice, etc., they just thought he was crazy. The boy looked confused. Then I got a phone call from my mum telling me that my girlfriend was hit by a truck. I had then realised why the boy looked confused. Then he looked shocked. He said, "More than likely she hadn't known what the sacrifice would be." I got angry with the boy and shouted, "What do you mean?" Then my girlfriend walked up to me. She hadn't realised she had been killed. The boy said, "You can see dead people. That's the thing about this." My girlfriend smiled and said, "What's wrong?" I had then realised the reason I came back to life was because my girlfriend wished for me to get better, not knowing that she would sacrifice herself. Sam was on social media for a few years now, but didn't get half of the views he would have liked. He decided to hatch a plan to gain loads of followers and viewers. His plan consisted of him driving a taxi that he usually does, but something different for a live stream. He rigged the taxi with lots of cameras to film his customers. He had something very different planned for them. That difference was that he would have a needle in the back seat full of poison, and each customer who gets in would be killed from the poison going into their back. The needle tips were spread all over the back, so no matter where they would sit, they would get jabbed. He murdered about 10 people when his live stream went up to about 100,000 views. The local sheriff of Sam's town got tipped off after the 5th person was killed, so he was tracking the car by people giving tips of what was in the background of the live stream, giving away where it was originating from, even though Sam was constantly on the move apart from stopping for customers. The viewers helping the police eventually knew Sam seemed to be driving to his house. A while later there was a SWAT team outside Sam's house, and they knew from the live stream he was in the garage. He could see he was holding a gun up to people, and the SWAT team broke the garage door down and shouted, "Stop!" Sam jumped with fright, and one of the police officers' guns went off and shot Sam between the eyes. Then 10 of his victims came out shouting and screaming. The detective was relieved the poison in the needle didn't kill them, but must have just put them to sleep. Then things got worse than he could ever have imagined. When one of the people said, "Oh my God, why did you shoot Sam? We are all actors. This has all been a stunt. None of us were killed. Those needles were just rubber. They weren't real needles. We were just helping Sam stage a fake, crazy live stream of him killing people." The sheriff checked Sam's pulse. He was dead, and they realized he was guilty of staging a fake mass murder spree. Susie was feeling down as she had no cell phone for a whole 3 days. That might not be a long time to most people, but to Susie it felt like a whole month. She missed being able to scroll down news feeds and swiping through pics, etc. on social media. She knew it would take her a long time to save up for a new phone, so she decided to go into the local pawn shop to see could she pick up a second-hand one. She settled on a cool new-looking phone and paid her money and walked home. She couldn't wait till she got home to check it out, so she turned her phone on and was surprised a logo popped up on the screen right away. It was a circle with W in it. She just assumed it was some sort of app, so she clicked on it. That night she was sitting down watching TV, enjoying a good thriller movie, when her phone screen lit up. She checked to see what the notification was. She dropped her phone from her hand when she saw what she couldn't understand. It looked like a very pale woman's face came very close to the screen, and there was an awful sound came from her phone. She put the phone down again and continued to watch the movie. Suddenly it lit up again. This time she was hesitant in looking to see what it was, but when she did, the W logo popped up on the screen again. She tried to go into it, but when she did, it said, "We are currently in private beta. Please enter password if you have one." I realized by looking at the top of the screen, it was an app called Whoop. I checked the Google store to see was the app there, but there was no sign of it. I was going to go back to watching the movie, but I decided to Google Whoop app. I was shocked when I read what came up. It said, Whoop is a musical and social media app that was under development. The creator, Sarah Bell, and sole owner, was violently killed on Friday night while going for what seemed like her nightly walk. No suspects are being questioned at the moment, and there is no motive. The homicide is still under investigation. What I saw underneath the article sent shivers up my spine. It was a photo of a woman that looked exactly like the woman that popped up on my screen earlier. I went into her photo gallery and panicked when I saw many photos of the woman who was murdered. I turned off the phone, wondering what was happening and what exactly was that short little video I saw. I knew it was her, but was it actually a video of her being murdered? And why did it pop up in the phone when I didn't even touch it? I jumped in my seat when I saw my phone light up again. I panicked big time this time, knowing I had just turned the phone off. I was reluctant picking up the phone, but when I did, the words, "Be careful," were on the screen. Then as soon as I saw them, they had disappeared. I heard a noise at the door and thought it was my mind playing tricks on me until I heard footsteps. I knew now there was someone in my house with me. I felt a freezing shiver run up my spine, and a lightheadedness with a mixture of fear and panic consume me. Suddenly, a figure appeared in my room. I was expecting to see the woman who got killed standing there, but it was a man. The man spoke. "Well, now there. Don't be frightened. I had to kill that bitch because she stole my unique software for her app. You see, I was her partner before she got greedy and wanted to take full control of the app. You might wonder why I'm here and how I found you. Well, you can thank the wonder of technology and those great Find My Phone apps. I was just on my way to the pawn shop today when I realized someone had bought it. It made things so much more awkward for me, knowing that I will have to kill another person this time, a person I don't even know, to retrieve the phone. You know that if they got this phone, well then they would get me as the killer. You might ask why I didn't take the phone with me that night. Would you believe I took her damn wallet thinking it was her phone? But then again, maybe that made the cops think it was some random robbery. I froze in fear, wondering what he was going to do to me. Suddenly the phone made a sound, as if I got a new message. Then the screen burst into pieces, and a piece of glass stuck in the man's eye. Blood came squirting out. Then a hand came out of the screen and choked him to death.